I know this is a relatively new process for me. I want to explain it a little bit. I'm going to do the general focus for those of you that don't really want to listen to your sun sign forecast or rising sign forecast. But then I'm also going to be doing a focus on your sun and your rising sign later on. I do have those listed in the comments below of when your individual personal focus for this solar eclipse starts and that you'll want to pay attention to. But for the generalized focus, let's go ahead and get started. Hi guys, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your daily horoscope and energy reading for the solar eclipse that happens in Virgo, which means new beginnings. It's a very big time for us. Anytime a solar eclipse happens in a new moon, it has something to do with some personal growth, like some internal growth. This has to do with your soul and your character. So this is a time of planting seeds in those areas. How do you want to grow internally and shine to your maximum potential, right? So during this eclipse that's going to be happening in Virgo, so this means that your sun and the moon both align in Virgo, and at this point it is going to be trining Pluto and Capricorn. So this is about personal power. This is about having some ease and not having you have to redefine your personal power, but to feel some ease in the fact that you have a pretty strong understanding of who you are, what you need to have personal power, and how you give that power away. So the opposition that we have is Neptune is in Pisces in retrograde, highlighting some areas that, it's opposing energy. So it's two energies that are here that want to be here. So actually it's three energies. It's the moon and the sun in Virgo is going to be working or trying to find a way to compromise with Neptunian and Pisces energy. So this is about seeking a higher purpose. This is about finding power through a broad perspective, through an elevated consciousness. This is about a spiritual journey. For many of you, this is about setting up routines that will bring you some balance and some peace, and you need to balance out the pulls that life continues. See, life tries to steal your personal power on any given moment. Outside perspectives, outside influences, media saturating you with negative energy, right? And there's so much out there really inundating you with negative energy. It's really hard to find a way to find some Neptunian peace. We are inundated with it at this point, and because Neptune in Pisces is in retrograde, essentially all of its powers are in reverse. It's making us understand the limitations within us. So this has to do with our emotions. This has to do with our daily routines, in our mental and physical health routines, and in our work routines. And this is about fine-tuning some of the things that we do to elevate our consciousness and to make us aware of where we lose personal power. So I think it's a win-win situation. So yes, as with many of the new moons that have been happening lately, the new beginning comes with an associated amount of pain. Again, to make a change, you have to have enough pain associated with something that's going on to your life to make you want to make a change. And in this issue, We have a really big event. Now, I do think that this solar eclipse is a big event, but I feel a different energy that's way more significant than the actual eclipse energy. And that is Saturn is in its final degree. It's in its 29th degree, which means that it is at the accumulative energy. You can't get a broader understanding of what Saturn has been trying to tell you than right now. Many people that I know have had deep spiritual awakenings and connections to the underworld, the dark world, the spiritual realms, more so than they ever had with this final energy that's going on in this Saturn energy. So anytime that Saturn is in its final degree and the point where we are having a new moon and we are having a solar eclipse, this suggests an awakening, a very big awakening in how to control, how to get your fear, how to personally transform, because remember, this is all energy that's in Scorpio, how to become more intimate with partnerships and possible shared resources. I mean, this is on levels of weighing out fear versus trust issues. This is dealing with demons, and this is like the final battle. This is like, you know, you were having petty differences, and this is like the war that goes along associated with it. So we're in that final degree. We're in the home stretch. We're moving forward. So, okay, so say if some of you are ignoring Saturn's suggestions and Jupiter is expanding some poor coping methods and some of the darker parts of yourself, I think some of you are going to experience a health scare to beat all health scares, or you are going to experience some humbling in areas, or there's going to be a mental imbalance that you just suddenly become aware of, and it's a new beginning in just how much you need to get a handle on this physical ailment or on this mental well-being ailment. You need to get it into control, and it will become highly aware. You can't gloss over any of the details or avoid reality when Saturn's in the final degree. It is a slap in the face. It is a wake-up call. It is such a grand awakening because you have Saturn in Scorpio squaring off with Jupiter in Virgo. This has something to do with stuff that you do on a regular basis, the menial tasks, the day-to-day routines. There's a sense of looking back and knowing exactly when everything went wrong and getting a handle of that. Now, there has been enough pain associated with many of the things that I just talked about for you to want to make changes. You are now passionate about making these changes. You are now aware, vividly aware. There's no denying where you need to go and the changes that you need to make. And there's also a need, you understand that there's a need to prevail and make all these changes. So I see many of your outcomes as being highly wonderful through this final transition in Saturn and Scorpio. This isn't like it's tying up loose ends by slapping us in the face. It's more like we want to get control of it. We want to see the better picture. This eclipse, this new beginning, we want the words new beginning. We want personal growth. We want to overcome. I think for some of us, there's a need to, a really strong emphasis on the need to balance out our lives and to get control and perspective on balancing out our lives. That's the hard part, right? That's like, we get it, but how do we do it? Like, because many of us haven't had balance in our lives in these particular areas. So it's overcoming. So we've got to learn how to maintain our personal power at a high vibration, even in the midst of challenge, right? We've got to learn how to have a balance. We've got to learn how to not have these coping methods overwhelm us and take control of us. And for many of us, I think we are letting go of shackles of past pain. We're knowing that we need to move forward. We're embarking on a new journey. We're trying to turn our backs to the vices that we were using, the poor coping methods. We want the good life. We want that emotional fulfillment, and we know that we need to make dramatic changes, and balance is the key. We're all aware of that. The gorgeous thing, the absolute beautiful energy that I see in this glorious day is the fact that we have Neptune and Pisces. It is going to be sextiling Pluto and Capricorn. So this is coming up with a brand spanking new thought process, and with Neptune and Pisces trining or sextiling, dancing with Pluto and Capricorn. This is about empowerment. This is about personal growth. This is about creative new ways to strive for excellence in yourself. This is beautiful, delicious, scrumptious energy that you can just drink up and just enjoy. It is absolutely the energy that you want to tap into and really, really harness. It's very positive. It's an enlightenment. It is getting control of your daily routine, setting a routine that will promote success in your psychological faculties and give you the life balance, the challenge of the life balance that you're trying to get. So that was your general daily focus for this new moon. If you want to stay tuned, I will go through how this will affect your sun. So stay tuned. Hi Aries, this is your personalized report, energetic reading for the solar eclipse. And for you, this solar eclipse is going to be happening in your 6th house. So that is your house of health and mental well-being and your work routine. So for you, it's about getting balance over the fact that you have significant burdens on your shoulders and that you need to turn your back on some things that aren't working for you anymore. This month, I feel I can't even tell you how big this month is for you, because you have a lunar eclipse coming up for you at the end of this month in Aries. So this new beginning is going to be an enlightening point for you. It's going to be that light that you see, that it's almost like the aha moment, or that idea that comes to light that really gets supported by the ending that happens in your particular lunar experience. So this is about turning your back on, I think it has something to do with the fact that you have some poor coping methods that you are not letting go because of your ego. Your ego tells you you're fine. It tells you you're just right where you're at, and you're very defensive, and you're standing up to people, and you're letting them know that, you are a person that can be counted on, and that you're almost at a point of denial. So you're at a very unstable point in this new awakening. You're not ready. You're just not ready to let go of your ego enough. And there's been a lot of Aries energy. So this suggests to me that you are a focus, that, you need to be humbled. I think that you genuinely feel good about your life, which is kind of why it's not easy for you to identify the change that you need to make. And for many of you, I feel like you're not humble enough to let go of the control that you want to have over others and your finances and over everything. And the challenge is that you don't have a lot of peace with all of this. And so the new beginning, I think, for you with this particular aspect is to take on some of these challenges, much like the warrior you are, and look at this from an analytical point of view that you know, like if you were to remove emotion and ego, right, then you would know that there is some changes that even you need to make, but to get you to where you want to go, as far as to get and it's hard because you pretty much have what you want, but there's something more. There's something big coming. And if you don't understand what it is, you will during the lunar eclipse. You will experience some jolt, some really big awakening that happens to you. It could be through an ending or a traumatic, emotional awakening that happens to you that lets you know that there needs to be an ending to some of this. So this suggests that you don't have a lot of balance in work routines, mental health routines, physical health routines. So there's something that I think you think like you can handle everything. You could stand up, you can do your day-to-day tasks, you can stand up for everybody that needs it, and that you can prevail, and you can overcome all of these things at the same time. And that's just, to me, this suggests that there's going to be an emotional blow or an impact to some of those people that don't have that perspective, that don't have that balanced perspective. But I think for now, this new beginning suggests that there is just an awakening in an area that you may need some life balance in, and that you may need to get some control of, if you are highly in tune with the energy and you will remove your ego. Hi Taurus, this is your energetic reading, specifically for your sun and ascendant in Taurus, for the solar eclipse. And for you, this solar eclipse is going to be happening in your 5th house. Okay, so a solar eclipse is a new beginning. It's redefining your individual perspective on personal growth. It is setting forth seeds that you can plant in fertile ground that will allow you to reach maximum potential. For that to happen, now this I think is a relatively good energy for you because this energy is in Virgo, you're in Taurus. I think for the most part these energies kind of dance together. So your new beginning is an absolute awakening in the fact that something needs to change in your life. You want to plant new seeds. This is about transformation. For you, you've done a lot of really hard, you've looked at everything and removed ego from it, and you're willing to make a change, and you want to make a dramatic change. You want to move forward, and this is a determination to have that happen. This is setting a new perspective, and you're open to it. This is about seeing your demons for what they are. I think you're very real with who you are as a human being, and the fact that there needs to be some change, and that you have some deep wounds, and that you really understand these wounds for what they are. I think there's a need to trudge forward with the wounded self that you are, and know that you have something to give, but you need to make it start from the basics, from the absolute basics. So a new beginning for you is going to start on being self-reliant and an individual person in this. I think you're willing to essentially plant seeds on this brand new fertile ground. It's barren. There's nothing there. You have seeds in your hand. You actually don't know what these seeds are. You're going to plant them and see what flourishes from them, because it's actually a new mindset. It's a brand new way of thinking. It's not about being stubborn and holding on to all of these past mindsets that you have, but it's about moving forward in them. And and I think for you, the joy is going to be in giving back, is going to be being in touch with other people's needs and wants. It's not, it is about fulfilling your own needs, but it's about getting a perspective on meeting your needs, but getting some enjoyment from giving people what they need, right? And seeing how it goes, because you can be in an indulgent, very indulgent sign because you're ruled by Venus, and there's a lot of energy right now in Venus and in indulgent energies. But I think you understand that that's not the wave of the future, and you're embarking on a new journey and really holding on to this. You know, Saturn's is in the 29th degree for you. This is about a death to an old identity and a rebirth in a new identity. And this is about setting up routines that get you into a regiment of understanding your new path and your new outcome, right? It's definitely a big transformation in how you think and how you move forward and be vulnerable. I think that you understand right now that you are very in touch with your feminine energy, and there's a vulnerability, and there's a simplistic view of maybe you need to step forth on this journey somewhat alone, or you need to hold back a little bit, and there needs to be a life balance for you, as far as in, I'm realistic about what I can do. I'm realistic about what I can't do. I can give you what you need, but I'm on my own journey. So at this point, I've got to take care of myself. It will be a new beginning in setting very strong boundaries and not staying stuck in situations that aren't ideal for you. Hi, Geminis. This is your specific energetic reading for the solar eclipse new moon that's happening in Virgo. Anytime you have a new moon, that suggests a significant area of personal growth and a new individual perspective. This is about planting seeds and how you want to shine, essentially, from the inside out and become more authentic. So let's get started on your reading. So for you, this is going to be happening in your 4th house, which means home and family. So for many of you, that could mean talk about having kids. You know, that could mean hearing that you may have something new on the way. That could mean that you want to buy a new place, or you start thinking about buying a new place, or you want to relocate and you want to create the family. So you want to move in together and create that ideal family situation that you have. This can be about looking at some real estate and thinking about financially committing to a real estate endeavor. Since Venus is direct, it's kind of a good time for that. And it's before Mercury goes into retrograde. So the 4th house represents a lot, but primarily it's in home and family. So for you, I want to talk about, okay, yes, we have a solar eclipse happening, which means that it is a dramatic beginning. Like it sets forward for things. So for me, when I see the 4th house, I always think of, it could mean a new beginning, literally a new life coming into the world. Somebody could be pregnant, or it could change. Pregnancy could change the destiny for you. It also could mean that you are setting seeds, and you have a really good perspective about what you want moving forward in your home and family. To me, you are ready to make a change, a significant change. You are at peace with where you are at. You know what got you here. You know, for the most part, that you are where you are, and you're adaptable to your situation. You know, you're letting go intentionally of some of the things that's been holding you back. And you're taking some time to decipher all of this. I want to say that for some of you, this could be a very private journey. You could be internalizing a lot of this. You could be thinking things through. You're ready for the transformation. You're ready for the new journey. You're ready to go confidently into getting what you want. You want life to be about celebrating, and you want some freedom to do that. Like you're ready to cut loose all the old shackles that you have on your past, and you're ready to embark on a new way of thinking, but you want the freedom. Freedom's very important for you. In fact, freedom's insanely important for you in this. If you want that family, that home and family experience, it could mean that you relocate or you move to an area that will provide you with the freedom to express yourself and have a new beginning and a new start, and to be vulnerable. There is somebody significant to me that is somebody that you either wanted to start a family with, or somebody that has stood by you through thick and thin, that you want to stick it out for, because they see your vulnerabilities and they love you anyway. That's significant to me. There's a lot of personal growth that can happen. I think for you, the hard part about this is that you still need to work on balancing out your life. So that's when this Saturn in Scorpio and the final degree, which is in 29 degrees, is significant for you. Saturn will address how you overindulge in your routines. So there's still some fine tuning in those routines. And it's a solar eclipse in Virgo. So even though this is in your home and family, to me this suggests that there's it's almost like you maybe work too much, and you're not allotting enough time for your family, or you're making family issues more important than your work life, and there's no balance in there. So you're still struggling with the balance between the two. There is still a certain amount of instability that you need to get a control of. So expect the fact that you need to get control over these areas to be a focal point in this new beginning, in this new moon in the solar eclipse. If you are avoiding your reality, which I don't strongly feel that you're doing at this point, I do believe that your ego is essentially getting away with you. I think you might be a little overconfident that this new beginning is going to pay off. I think you need to understand that with a new beginning comes work, right? A new beginning is just not a new beginning. So if you're ditching somebody and leaving somebody for this new person, right, then I think you're a little overconfident in the fact that that new person isn't going to give you the same exact issues that you had before. So let's say you're in relationships, or you are going to another family. Say you are leaving a family and you're moving into another family, or you're literally moving your life. You're going to just ditch your old life, right? And you're going to move to a new place and start a new life, and you think it's going to start you over. I think you don't understand that the start over needs to be with you. You are the problem. You are the issue in your life. So Saturn is going to go in there and square off with all this energy and thinking, I know you want to start over, and I know you think it's going to be the end all be all, but really the new start needs to lie from within. If you do, this Neptune and Pisces sextiling Pluto and Capricorn is going to give you a creative approach to be able to trudge forward. Say you want to move and you want a new start, but you realize that you are the problem. Then if you tap into this Neptune and Pisces energy, when you do this personal period of personal growth, and you do want to start anew, and you need to get away from your current situation where you live and start fresh somewhere else, that you do it with being mindful of the clarity of your situation and, you know, not looking at it from a perspective of, you know, that it's everybody else's fault. You're looking at it from an internal growth period. This is a big new beginning and internal growth for you. Hi, Cancers. This is your specific energetic reading for the solar eclipse that is going to be happening in Virgo. And for you, this is a new moon, and we have a couple energies at play, and you are going to be very energetically connected to energy because you are very in tune with energy. And for you, you are going to be feeling this Saturn and Scorpio in the 29th degree because that is a fellow water sign, and it is in its final stage of this. So you're going to be highly in tune to that. So for you, for you, I think you are going to be feeling the personal growth the most. Like, so far out of all of my readings, I'm feeling very much like you are going to go through a major growth spurt with this new beginning. This will have to do with brand spanking new beginnings. This has to do with basically accepting challenge and having confidence in it. This is not about being overconfident and feeling like you have overcome situations at the expense of others. This more has to do with being thankful for your journey and for your triumphants and your losses. This has to do with inner peace, getting the monetary value that you need. I mean, you poor thing. Like, this has to do with so much growth, it's ridiculous. And this is about leaving something behind, you know, and to me, this has something to do with an absolute new start, and that new start will come with an ending. There will be some pain associated with this new start, with this new journey, but it will be, everything you do will be planted on fertile ground. It will be all your seeds will grow and flourish if you nurture them. And this is about accepting the opportunities before you, which I think that for some of you, there is an opportunity that you will be accepting that will create this new beginning. And you're not taking advantage or you're not hiding from the opportunities anymore. You want them. Because you see a richer life full of a happy family, and you also see a monetary payout from all of this. And, you know, for the most part, you know that it took you hard work to get here. You know that you have something to give, and you know that it can be appreciated at this point. So, yes, this new moon comes with challenges for you. And I want to say that for most of you, this has to do with looking at your day-to-day routines and getting a hold of them. This has to do with not glossing over the details anymore, but really getting specific on what you want. So getting control over all of this. This isn't about emotion, right? Removing emotion. This is about what you tangibly want, what you feel like you deserve, accepting opportunity, and feeling the confidence to endure, and not feeling like there were so many losses and somebody beat you, right? So you have to move forward. It's not about that. It's about feeling like you are on the other end of that. That, yeah, I lost something, but I kicked its ass, right? And I have to move forward with that. Yes, there is a feeling of loss. There is some pain that's associated with that. But I think the overall point of all of that is to transform your personal situation from where you are at right now. Like, where you are at right now is not completely a fulfilling perspective, right? There is some, Look, you know you have something to give, and where you are at right now, you have to leave something behind to move forward and to get that end result, that thing you want. And it is about accepting opportunities. So many of you may be leaving a family for something that you love. So for you, all of this energy is happening in your third house. So this is about looking at things from a new perspective. This is about setting up day-to-day routines. This is about, taking, sorry, my battery was going to die. So I had to move. Hi, baby. Hi, honey. So this is about, if you're one of those people that are going to change your life and change it for the better, then this is honestly about being able to be confident enough to communicate that you need to make those changes and that you deserve them, and that you need to understand that, okay, with every decision you make, there is a personal ramification of making, his butt was in the air, really, of making that specific change. And so anytime you make a decision, there's always a ramification for your decision. And that can be very difficult for you to face. And there is going to be pain associated with making these new changes and turning your back essentially on an old mindset, an old way of being. And this isn't, I'm not going to say that this new beginning feels altogether scrumptious for you. Because Saturn working in its final degree means that you have to rely on your personal power, and it has to be from a realistic perspective, which is exactly the highly supported energy that you need to do. So if you need to leave something because you don't love them anymore, or if you need to go embark on a new journey, or if you need to change your perspective, all of these things are highly supported, and just expect enough pain to be associated with these things to make you determined to change it. Hi Leos, this is your energetic reading for the solar eclipse that is a new moon, which is happening in Virgo. And for you, this is a big deal. We have a lot of energy going on. All of this is going to be happening in your second house. So that has to do with what you value, how you value it, and how you value others. So it's all about possessions as well. So for you, the challenge can be anytime that, whenever I see a eclipse, I think of a dramatic new event. So sometimes events can happen, new beginnings can happen with sudden endings, right? Or there can be enough pain associated with something to want to make a change and want to make a new beginning. So many of you may feel this tug. The reason I say this is because Saturn is in Scorpio in the final degree. This is in the 29th degree. This is the pièce de résistance. Like, this is the moment you've been waiting for. This is the ending of the movie. This is the big movie kiss. That's that dramatic event that, that we've all been waiting for. And at this particular stage, Saturn, in this new beginning, in this pivotal moment of creating a dramatic new beginning, Saturn in Scorpio is going to be it's going to be squaring off with Jupiter, Neptune, and Mars. So this has to do with your passion, and this has to do with how you gloss over details or may not face things realistically. And this also has to do with how you expand and set up routines that create success. So there's a lot going on in this specific event, astrological event, that creates the need to have a new beginning, right? So the challenge for some of you is that you keep looking back and you keep wanting more than you have before you. So there is new opportunity before you, but there was something specific from your past that probably was a lot more enduring for you. It's like the feeling of the unknown. It's not like you have a problem with pride or moving forward, but it's just a fact that there was something so good that you lost in the past that you keep kind of looking back. So we need to get over that. There's a sense of, you know, you need to change something. There's fear associated with it. There's struggle, there's loss, and it's overcoming it that can sometimes get in your way of the actual outcome. This has to do with something that's emotion-based, absolutely, for sure. This was something that it was ego versus reality. This is probably ego versus emotion. And the challenge is to overcome that and to get a sense of control over that. And it has something to do with possibly a contradiction in that. So there's a sense of trying to work that out. Now, for many of you, there's a sense of you've took what you could from the situation and you are now trying to move forward with it. But there is always that sense of looking back at the have-not. It's like you have all these haves, right? But you're looking back at the have-not, and you're really holding on to that have-not. And you know, there's enough pain associated with that for you to want to create the new beginning, or to at least try to duplicate that point where you lost control of the situation. And for you to overcome it with a sense of pride. So you're going to build a sense, you're going to take a look at this analytically, and you're going to make sure that you never get at this point again, and you're never going to let your ego get the best of you. And so for some of you, this is about looking forward and creating that new beginning in it's a humble start. You have been humbled. And God, have you guys been humbled? I mean, you went through Saturn in Leo, and it just kicked your guys' butt. And I know, because I'm a Leo, and I just got slaughtered. And so I think there's a sense of, I think it's good to not lose track of where you were and compare it to where you are now. I think it's a very balanced perspective of letting that gauge you moving forward. But I hope you're not those people that are looking back and relishing in that status, that what you had back then. You're building from what's current now. So for many of you, this is a humble new beginning. This is taking pride in what you created at this point and starting anew. And this is, you're emotionally connected with the new start that you are at now. And you have an intuitive connection to where you're supposed to go. Like there's a spiritual connection. It's almost like a childlike enthusiasm of, you've removed enough of the monetary shackles to get you to the point to where you want to move forward. Now for you, the empowerment is going to come from taking a look at everything and seeking a higher purpose. And I think most of you, this is going to be from an energetic point of view. This is going to be you're starting from the ground up. And I'm talking, when I say the ground, I'm talking from your emotion, from you're going to weigh out, moving forward. You're not just going to go forward based on ego. You're going to go forward based on, does my emotional compass say that this ego-based thing is okay? And that the new beginning for you is going to start to get control over ego versus well-being, about work routine. Is there a life and work balance to all of this? And and I think for most of you, this is going to be through knowledge. If you guys really enrich yourselves with knowledge, anytime somebody has been worked over and has been humbled, that is when personal growth starts to set in. So, and solar eclipses are all about personal growth. And so there's a big, big new awakening in this arena for you. This is going to be a glorious new moon. Yeah, it comes with strive and it comes with challenge, but all new beginnings do. Nothing starts from no pain associated with. We want to make a difference. We want to make a change. There's got to be enough passion and emotion to back up all of that, moving forward in creative endeavors. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to talking to you guys again in the next astrological event. Hi Virgo, this is your energetic reading for your actual solar eclipse. New moon in Virgo is being influenced by Saturn in Scorpio being in the 29th degree. This is in the final degree. So this is the final showdown. This is the final impact that Saturn wants to make on you, the planet of karma. And it really is speaking with Jupiter and Virgo. So this suggests that the two great teachers are going to be taking a look at you on an energetic level. And so, of course, when this happens, there's going to be a certain amount of challenges that are associated with this solar eclipse experience, this astrological experience. And you have to have a little bit of pain associated with needing to make a change. And so expect that some of the challenges to be eye-opening. Now for you, some of the challenges may be that you are embarking on a new journey and you have to leave something significant behind that is an old vice. It's an old mindset. It's an old coping method. And I think there's enough motivation now for you to want to embark on that new beginning and that new experience. For you, all of this is happening in your first house. So this is how you are perceived by others. I think you want to make a change. I think you want to open yourself up to people. And I think you want people to see you in the new way. You have had a lot of introspection and a lot of personal growth, and you will for quite some time. I have to tell you, the energies are all moving into Virgo. It suggests a major, major transformative time for you. So for you, there has been a significant amount of pain associated with where you're at. So you now want to make the change. You are now determined. You want you want to feel full instead of empty all the time. And so, and you need to feel a sense of peace and tranquility and happiness. And you want the light to fill you up, and you're kind of sick at this point of suffering through the darkest times in your life. You are reflective, and this is a quiet time for you. This is a personal journey for you. So this isn't about, everybody may not be fully on board with where you're at. There is a focus for some of you on children and the perspective of how you make these changes versus how you look at children's and your situation, and there may be a certain amount of fear moving forward when considering children. For some of you, you understand where you went wrong. You understand the needs, the different areas that you need to transform, and you have a perspective of looking at the spilled milk in your life, but you really are ready for some opportunities to come forth in your life. And you know that you have enough knowledge to try to change it, and you know how to change it. It's just fine-tuning all of that. So you're ready to embark on this brand new journey, and you're willing to seek balance and your life-work balance. Like for many of you that I've talked to, you pour all of your energy into your work routine, and you define yourself and your mental well-being by how you are recognized by others. That defines who you are as a person, because you're a servant. And so many of you have been tied up in the wrong things. You have as long as somebody was stroking your ego, you were fine. But as soon as they stopped stroking your ego, then you lost personal power. So for many of you, it's a new clarity in where you used to lose your power, and it's a new beginning in that. It's seeking and holding on and maintaining your personal power and peace of mind at the same time. There's a knowledge that you do this. So for you, the identification process is starting to be redefined. And this 29th degree in Scorpio will help you do that. It will help you personally transform. This is in the highest vibration. Anytime a degree gets in its 29th degree, this is the moment of realization. This is the awakening. This is the degree where you define and become ultimately controlled in a specific area. And for you, this has to do a lot with your routines, where you go wrong, and where you put your passion. Is your passion distributed in just work? Is there life and work balance? For many of you, you could have an imbalance in that. So there's a sense of trying to get control over where you go wrong in those specific areas. And you're not at this point delusioned. It's just a matter of figuring it all out, planting the new seeds, and becoming really fine-tuned in these areas. And that's all, that's what we all initially strive for at some point. All of us really need to get control over all of these areas. This eclipse is going to be in Virgo, so the sun and the moon. So this is your core, and your emotions are going to be taking a look at these routines. And if you trine this energy out, you just stay stuck, then I think you're going to have some opposition from Neptune, making you more realistic about this approach. Like, it's okay to say that everything is fine and you are in denial, but there is no denial when Neptune in Pisces is in retrograde. There's absolutely no denial anymore. You have to face where you're at, and you have to take a look at all of this. You are at the point where you are making small victories, but this is about making big victories, new beginnings, new starts, embarking on a new journey and trudging forward and making giant leaps. You don't want these. I know it's important to really hold on to the small victories, but we really need to start making some bigger goals and to stop being so conservative and hesitant and not taking risks. For you, it's very difficult for you to want to take risks. So there's probably for you, there's an emphasis on taking a little bit more risk to get you ahead in the near future. I hope you guys enjoyed your energetic reading for this solar eclipse, new moon, and I look forward to talking to you guys again in the next astrological event. Hi Libras, this is your energetic reading for the solar eclipse that is going to be happening in Virgo. And for you, this is going to be happening in your 12th house. This has to do with you're in a state of evolution and transformation. And I really like where you guys are starting to go. You're not being servants to others and partnerships and molding your life around what other people want. You're starting to stand tall, stand up for yourself, and manifest what you want and what you internally need for the balanced lifestyle that you desire. So this is one of those pivotal moments where when Saturn is in the 29th degree of Scorpio, this means it's in the final degree. So this is in transformation. We're not working in the lower vibrations of this Saturn transit anymore. We're working in the highest vibration, and this is like going out with a bang. This is the finale. And it is going to be opposing, it's going to be squaring off with Jupiter and Virgo. and Neptune in Pisces and Mars in Virgo. So this has a lot to do with removing delusion and really staying firm in the fact that you want to find balance in your actual current situation, not looking at it from a rosy perspective anymore, just based on the fact you want to partner with somebody, like this partner needs to give you something back. And you need to get some control over your situation, because you may have started out this relationship being, submissive in it, and you need to stay firm and stay tall and set some ground rules and some firm boundaries. You also may be setting up some routines of saying, okay, there is a point where I'm going to say no, standing tall and getting your voice back. This is all about getting your voice back as far as in the Libran point of view. This is also, there's something that you want ideally. It's firm, it's within your grasp, but there is a point in your life where you're letting go of a lot of past pain. You're letting go of the way that you used to identify yourself in psychologically. So for you, psychologically, you used to identify being happy as being in a partnership. And it didn't matter what you had to suffer through to get through it. But it's no longer that way for the Libra world. The Libra world wants balance. You want to give and you want to receive. And I think you're starting to understand how to make that new beginning manifest in your life. I think you're not basing everything on monetary value. You're basing it on soul growth and monetary value. So you're looking at partnerships from different varied perspectives. It's not about getting you ahead anymore. It's about moving forward. I think the struggle for you is if you are in relationships that give you tremendous monetary value, it may be hard to let go of some of those relationships, and seeking the balance in that. So I think the ultimate goal in your relationship is to have monetary value and to have your emotional well-being balanced. It's to find peace in the duality of your situation. Maybe you're with somebody that isn't as evolved as you, but you see that they are awakening. It's about being tolerant, but setting firm boundaries and not letting go of what you need to get the ultimate goal that you want, which is a grounded approach to relationships. I know that you get caught up in finding that relationship that brings ultimate, fulfillment, and, basing a relationship on outwardly how they appear and what they can give your life and how they can bring you pleasure. I think you're starting to understand that you can do those things for yourself, that you are self-sufficient and that you have something to give, and that you're okay letting go of somebody that doesn't appreciate the substantial gains that you have to give them in a relationship. So I think for you, this new beginning, so a solar eclipse is a new beginning. It's shedding some light. It's helping you shine. It's planting seeds that will help you flourish. It's about getting emotional fulfillment. It's about getting to the status that you want in life, but it's also about spiritually moving forward with somebody and getting a connection, unlike anything that I think at this point that you've currently ever had. It is about letting go of past painful endeavors. So if you are caught in relationships that are kind of like what you've always been in, it is about letting go of them, moving forward, and really understanding that your mind needs to be at peace. It needs to be in balance. It needs to be considered equally as important as some of the narcissistic relationships that you've been in. Libras like to strive for the best, and striving for the best can often mean that you get involved in narcissistic relationships because those people are constantly striving outwardly to get monetary gains and to look really good, but often they suffer internally, not feeling fulfilled, and you could have been in several controlling relationships that caused you to have a very volatile past, but you're moving forward from all that, and there's a sense of peace and letting go and knowing that you finally you're starting to get to a point where you are are getting to the level that you respect, and that ultimately will provide you some inner balance and some inner peace. And I think for many of you, you are setting a trend. You are leading by example. You are setting firm boundaries, and because you're setting those firm boundaries, people understand that you are not somebody that is going to settle anymore and succumb and be submissive in relationships. It's a very pivotal, beautiful time for you. It is a new beginning, and this is about really honestly setting those firm boundaries mentally to get you sustained physically, and then for you to find some peace in the fact that if you have to lay down the law at times and you have to set some firm boundaries, that it's okay, because you know what, you've been through hell and high water. You know that you are worthy of something more, and that you're not going to settle for a new beginning in a past regimented destructive pattern. Like, that's not where you're moving. You're moving forward. I mean, these Pluto-Uranus squares happened in cardinal signs, and then we had that Saturn going into Scorpio. This is about death and transformation. So it was about the death of an old identity, and although you want those monetary gains, you're willing to let that go for the ultimate peace. And I think finding that balance, having the conversations, can start these new beginnings going in a great direction. Hi, Scorpio. This is your energetic reading for the solar eclipse that is going to be happening in Virgo. And for you, anytime that a solar eclipse happens, this suggests that there's going to be some internal growth. This is going to come from the sun, everything that your life revolves around. And this is a substantial time to plant some seeds, but so your ruling planet, you're a big dog in this scenario. Even though this solar eclipse is not in your sign, Saturn is playing a big role in this brand new beginning. And for you, Saturn is going to be in Scorpio in 29 degrees, which is in its final degree. It's going out with a bang in this solar eclipse. So for some of you, this is going to be a time of really intense transformation. This is a time of letting go of the past, right? This is a time of transforming. Yes, you grew up a certain way, or you were influenced a certain way, or you went through a certain amount of heartbreak, and looking at that can be very difficult for you because you are a very intense sign and you want to protect yourself. And this has to do with friendships. So for me, this is about laying firm, strong boundaries in friendships. This is about not defining yourself in your friendships. This is not about losing personal power in friendships anymore. This is about, if they go a separate way from you, or they do something that you don't like, or you can't control your friends in the way that you want that actually fulfills you, then you can walk away, and you understand that you have the power to do so. I think the new beginning can come for you in learning how to do this, learning how to let go and not associate pain with letting go. There was a lot that happened to you. You hold on just so tight to your friendships. They really do help keep you grounded. But there's a sense of finding an inner peace in your own personal power and not actually needing friends to define the fact that you are powerful and energetically connected at this point. So, at the point when this happens, Saturn in Scorpio in the 29th degree is going to be squaring off with Jupiter, squaring off with Neptune, squaring off with Mars. Mars, one of your rulers, is going to be really involved in this. It's going to be shedding a spotlight. You are going to be a center focus. This is going to be shining on you. So for you, Mars happening in the Saturn Scorpio, squaring off with Mars and Virgo in this solar eclipse, in this new beginning, suggests that there is something that you are very passionate about, that you really need an eye-opening experience. You need to have an awakening. I mean, solar eclipses to me affiliate a lot with an absolute awakening, and this has to do with friends. So sometimes this can mean that something is revealed to you that really sets apart your friendships, really defines them and lets you know where your power lies. I think for the most part, you really do still at this point hold back. You need to remain in control. There is a plan to get all of this going, but there is a sense you're not really ready to really let go of the need for control. I think what you need to learn is a great deal of balance. Look, at Jupiter can come in and expand the hell out of some of your poor routines. And for you, if your routine is wanting to remain in control, which it is, and I know that you are letting go of that tight hold that you have over control as a way to avoid pain, I still think that you struggle sometimes with letting go of what got you here and taking today for what it is, living in the present. Don't allow the past to define your experiences and to define the way that you look. You can't control people. The illusion for most people is that there is control over their lives. So embracing the fact that you have no control and revolving your world around the fact that you can't control others and that you have no control is ultimately the control that you desire. So I think it's finding that. It's finding out that. It's that journey of creating a new way and a new perspective that you look at everything. It's about letting people be individuals and letting them and understanding that you can find peace in just your universe and setting your own destiny, and stop making it about controlling everybody and just letting people be people. I mean, because you have your own personal journey and you are trying to define yourself, and there's a new you coming out, and you're wanting to express yourself. You're still holding back. I think the new beginning for you that could happen is just allowing yourself to express yourself. You're intelligent. There is so much knowledge that people can gain from you if you stop guarding all of your knowledge, if you stop keeping your secrets, if you stop stuffing all of your observations and you hold on to it as a sense of power over others. I think that people can start to look at you as the knowledgeable person that you are, and a new beginning can happen. And I think you'll start to flourish, and I think that you'll start to feel confident. You start to feel that you're in control of your own destiny, and inevitably this will get you on the right path, because you're not delusional anymore. The illusion at some point was that you had control, and you know that you don't have control anymore, because Saturn in Scorpio, your energy, is really honestly redefining how you feel strong and strength and control. Hi Sagittarius, this is your personal energy reading for the solar eclipse that is going to be happening in Virgo. And anytime there is a solar eclipse, that means big changes are coming in, brand new beginnings. So sometimes new beginnings come with endings, because we have to have an ending to have a new beginning. I see some challenges with this particular reading. One of the things I see is that your particular ruler, Jupiter, is going to be squaring off with Saturn, and Saturn is in its final degree. So it is super powerful energetically, and it could overpower your particular ruling planet, which is a pretty powerful entity on its own. So it's lowering the vibration of your ruler, and it's making you have some introspection happening. So you're at a crossroads. This is a pivotal moment. I think it's, for some of you, you're making a pretty big decision and you're wanting a new beginning, but there's a lot to weigh out. So you're at that fork in the road where you've got to consider that. There's a lot of opportunity, a lot of options. You have to weigh out whether or not the options that you have before you is something that you can see being long-term, or if it's something that is an actual superficial opportunity. Remember that you're contemplating in this particular solar event, that you're anticipating a new beginning, right? And this is all happening in your 10th house. So this is career, life, path, destiny. At this point, that you want some life work balance. In fact, you want balance in your life. You're looking at, look, you have enough personal power. You understand that you are on fire at this point. You understand that you're moving forward. There's a perseverance. You understand that you are in charge of the helm, pretty much. But there's a sense that you want to hold back. There is tremendous opportunity for you, but I think that inevitably it's just making that decision is the hard part, is to knowing where you want this to go. There's a sense of wanting to sit back. There's the wisdom of what you went through. You've contemplated it all. And I think at this point, this particular solar event is going to make you launch forward. It's going to give you some inspiration that you haven't felt before. This is going to give you a little bit of childlike enthusiasm about it. And it's essentially going to, like, you're not blind anymore. You understand the realistic look of your situation. But I think it's that need to hold back. You have all the wisdom. You know where you need to start, but it's the hesitation. There's a little bit of hesitation. This solar eclipse can help get you going in the right direction. Remember that solar eclipses mean that there is significant change that is about to happen. This has something to do with personal growth and individual growth. So this is, at some point, you're going to consider the fork in the road, and this is going to give you the energetic buzz to move forward in what it takes for you to actually make that final decision that you are so hesitant about. You know, we have a lunar event coming in Aries, and I think there will be something that happens for you to want you to strive for the new beginning. You are at a fork in the road. You are very introspective at this point. Saturn is kind of lowering your vibration as far as wanting to take a risk. So you are in a point of introspection. I think for you, the pivotal moment for this new beginning will happen around the lunar eclipse that is going to be in Aries. It is very vivid to me. This is at the end of the month that if you correlate the data from the solar eclipse and then you contemplate the ending, I think you're going to know what direction to take in that fork in the road. Hi, Capricorn. Wow, do I have a message to give you? Something came up and I just feel spiritually connected, especially to your particular reading. There's a big, huge changing for you in elevating your mind and getting a broader perspective. I know that I harp on you guys a lot about connecting emotionally to yourselves because you can disconnect and strive for what you need. I definitely know that you guys are leaders out there, and it seems like a lot of my messages have been negative, and that's just spirit guiding me. But I can tell you this month for Capricorn is going to be a big change for you. And although it seems like it shouldn't be, it really honestly is going to be. So I want to get started on you because there's a lot that I have to say in a little bit of time. So Saturn, during this solar event, this solar event is going to be a solar eclipse new moon in Virgo. Now, I love something I absolutely inspire to be like as a Capricorn is the fact that you guys know how to set up routines that gain success monetarily. Like, you guys are absolutely on fire in that arena. And I wish I was like that. I wish I cared more about monetary success. You're definitely somebody that I could benefit from knowing. But I want to say that there's something speaking to you that's higher than that. This is a spiritual bond. This is a spiritual connection with the universe. This is seeing a broader perspective. This is opening up your mind and elevating it in directions I don't think that you've actually felt or anticipated in a very long time. For many of you, you know that you are walking away, that you have the control to walk away from something that is holding you back. And to back you doing this, there's a lot of knowledge and power that you will persevere and that you will attain certain goals. I think for many of your goals, it is more on an earthly basis. Like, yes, you probably have some significant status, or you're on your way up the ladder. You are finally starting to see the fruits of your labor. I mean, after all those Pluto-Uranus squares broke you down, I think for many of you, there is some small victories that you are really holding on to. It's starting to build some inner peace within you. You're starting to understand that, yes, monetary gains are important, but also that seeking inner peace and really being in a state of gratitude for what you do have and connecting on different levels is where you're going. So I see this being a highly spiritual manifestation for you. It's a pivotal point where everything changes. These eclipses are going to speak to you specifically. The energy that I'm connecting to is at an all-time high with you. You would think it would be with Virgo and it would be with Aries, but I am feeling deeply that there is something that you are going to resonate with in this particular the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. They are calling to you. So this solar eclipse is giving you a sense of freedom. It's energetically connecting to you. And the reason I say this is because Pluto's in Capricorn in personal power. It's going to be trining this eclipse, the sun and moon in Virgo. So I believe that there is a sense you have a little bit broader perspective than most about where you need to elevate yourself and change your life. And you're going to be setting powerful seeds that will take some time to flourish, but it will flourish. You've had a significant amount of time in reflection and introspection in where you've been in your past and where you want to go in your future. And there's a sense of peace in holding on to what you can socially achieve, but also mentally finding the peace in this. This is a journey about leaving old concepts, old vices, past coping methods, and people that supported those behind. This is about setting forth on a new journey. This is about a brand new beginning. This is about getting everything you want from this time forward. And I'm not talking about just social status and monetary gains. I'm not talking about, this is bigger than that. This is about emotional fulfillment. This is about emotional support on every level. I'm talking internally. You actually know what it takes to get you ahead. And this new beginning is actually, it's like a reboot. It's like a restart in an area that you really, really, truly need to feel inner peace and this brand new beginning. Hi Aquarius, this is your solar eclipse energetic reading for this Virgo eclipse. And anytime that we have an eclipse, it suggests a brand new beginning, and it suggests that there is a need for some personal growth and an individual perspective, like a new beginning in that particular arena. So for you, this has to do with about removing illusion and getting control of the situation, complete control of the situation. So Saturn is in Scorpio, and Saturn is a planet of control. It's in its final degree. It's in its 29th degree. So this is going out with a bang. So for you, this has to do with, okay, so Saturn is going to be opposing Jupiter. So Jupiter is a planet of expansion, luck, opportunity. It is going to be squaring off with that energy. So it's going to make some of the concerns that you have in the area of just day-to-day routines, setting proper boundaries, mentally being agile, and not succumbing. Like, you understand that you have to set proper boundaries. You've took a time out. It suggests to me from this reading that you've took a time out. You have held back. You know what you want from love, and you know what you expect from your partners at this point. and that you are done with an unstable environment, that you are not a person that tolerates a lot of instability in people's behaviors, and that if these people are going to be in your life, then they need to have a brand new perspective, and you are under control. Look, at the core of you, there's an inner peace with you. You have struggled, you have endured, you understand where you're at. But there is a person in your life that has this childlike need to create a lot of instability, and you are not having it. Like, at this point, the transformation that you want is in stability, is in balance, is in not allowing somebody to come into your life and cause some sort of chaos, that you don't need to put up with this anymore. So, and it's so crazy because you are a big focus in this reading. Like, immediately when I did this reading, I completely identified with Aquarian energy. And for you, this is about setting forth. This is about planting new seeds. This is about an innovative approach. And if somebody can't get on board with your approach to getting a hold of what creates the instability in your life, then you're ready to, like, make a death to that. You're ready to make an ending to that. You are done in the struggle. Like, no more are you going to be putting up with this instability. There is a wisdom that you want to have moving forward. There is, like, you are incredibly knowledgeable, and you have lowered yourself enough to tolerate a situation in your life. And this new beginning for you is actually a death. It's an ending to an old way, and it is a beginning of a new way. So it is about allowing you to be vulnerable, yes, but you are vulnerable in the fact that the people that you go forward with have to allow you to have a certain set of personal peace. They have to provide you with the balance that you seek. And I think at this point, you're struggling with what that balancing energy actually energetically is. And I think you understand and tangibly know exactly what you want, but it's getting yourself on board with what you want versus what you currently have. And can you influence the people in your life? Can you transform those situations? I think inevitably, if you guys want to move forward, remove emotion and get some sort of control over the routines in your life, you're going to have to make a decision about whether or not you want peace, you want mental security, whether you want to deal with this childlike energy that's in your life, and whether and if love is actually worth the price that you're going to have to pay to reach, this manifestation in your life. This is about manifesting. This is about a death and a transformation. This is about an ending. If you need to develop some sense of personal peace in your life, it could mean an ending to a specific situation that causes you to be empowered in your life and to gain the control, the inevitable balance that you need over your life. To me, this suggests that there is somebody that always creates an issue. There's always something going on. There's always something that you need to deal with. And this has been going on for quite some time. And you need to get control over it for you to and I think at this point you're sitting back and you're taking a look at everything. The new beginning is coming in the introspective spirit that you have, knowing that you inevitably don't have the type of control that you want in your life to make a significant change. I think this is, okay, here's what it boils down to. This is about either Saturn being in control of your life and you having a sense of control, peace, balance, introspective perspective, and letting go, a death of something, or this is about transforming that situation if that person's on board, and it's about developing brand new routines, and it's about expansion in a new beginning, and it's about letting go of the fact that you have no control over the situation, and the fact that the person that you are inviting into your life actually adds a little bit of instability, which maybe you enjoy. Maybe you like the volatility. Maybe because you have a little bit of Uranus in you, that you need them to shake things up every once in a while for you to get a little fun. But I gotta say that the energy is not there. I mean, I think for some of you it could be. If it is, this will start the trend for you to set up that ending that's going to happen at the end of the month, that lunar experience, that cumulative energy that maybe you just get freaking sick of it. It comes to a head in this. You maybe are starting to feel like you want a new beginning, you want a fresh start, and that you can't make that significant beginning that you have, and the ending happens at the end of this month. I mean, this is definitely a buildup of some sort. It's a buildup of wanting some peace. I see peace. I see you wanting peace. I see you sick and tired of instability. I see you sick and tired of staying stuck. I see you wanting to move forward. You have tremendous knowledge, and you have so much to give, and you're just seeking balance in the fact of instability versus stability. Hi Pisces, this is your energetic reading for the solar eclipse that's going to be happening in Virgo, and for you this is going to be in your 7th house. Okay, so a solar eclipse is personal growth, and it is an individual growth period. It is setting seeds that will allow you to flourish as an individual. In order for you sometimes to do that, you need to focus on your 7th house, and your 7th house is the house of others, which just happens to be where this particular new beginning is going to be happening. So, this energy is crazy for you. And okay, so let's talk about the energies at play. For one thing, one of your sister signs, one of your fellow signs, it's a fellow water sign. Saturn is going to be in Scorpio, and this is going to be in the 29th degree. So this is about, okay, so you are the 12th sign in the zodiac. This is about connecting with the all-knowing. You connect with all of the energies every single time. So it's especially hard for the Piscean energy to disconnect from particular energies. And I mean, you have a special connection when energy reaches that palpitating point, which is what it's going to be doing. So for you, Saturn, when it gets to the highest vibration and energy, I think that you are highly in tune with it. And it is going to be squaring off with Jupiter and Virgo. So we've got Saturn, the great teacher in learning how to get control over your life, squaring off with Jupiter, the energy that is expansive and very risk-taking, in a very conservative and off-putting energy. So Virgo energy is it's kind of like putting water on a fire. Like, it is really, and then you have Saturn squaring off with this energy at the point. So this is a debilitated energy working in its lowest vibration, trying to, get the most out of this low vibration, but it's also being squared off with the planet that wants control. So this is a big energy for you to be dealing with. And I think you're going to be highly intuitively connected with how debilitated this energy is and it will cause you to be very introspective about what you're doing. So you're walking away from some past pain. You're walking away from the knowledge that if you make commitments and you do certain things, that it can cause you some pain. So I think there is a little bit of debilitation in the energies as you're moving forward. And you're highly in tune with the message that this particular solar eclipse is going to be giving you. So for you, there's been a lot of opportunity. You've weighed them all out and you've made your choice, your choice. But I think at some point for some of you, there is a need for you to be emotionally fulfilled a little bit more than you currently are. So you've weighed out all the options. You understand that there is different choices that you can make, and you're at a fork in the road where you need to make some choices. But there are so many, and you have some things that are so easy at your fingertips. And so you're willing to put all of your investment, your future investment, in something that can cause your life to be easier. Here's the danger in that. Jupiter, the planet that is of luck and expansion and future, is in a negative energy in that. So I think for some of you, you guys are making incredibly ego-based decisions based on what is attainable, what's easy, and what can cause you to get your life to where you want it to go. I want you to take a look at, specifically for you, since this is in your house of others, the others that you have in your life, the options that you have in your life as far as the people that you are choosing to make a future with. Is that the right choice? This is a highly introspective time for you. This is a very high vibration and energy. You are connecting with the Saturn energy. This is elevating your consciousness. This is making your unconscious meet your conscious realms. And this is about, what it boils down to is who actually makes you feel energetically connected. And this is about somebody that plugged you in emotionally. So yeah, maybe you have people in your life that make you feel confident and make you feel like you can persevere, and they make life really, really easy. But the challenge for you, the challenge for you is, yeah, that person could give me all the monetary gains that I desire, and they are really promising me the moon at this point. And that really does stroke my ego. I'm feeling like there's a purpose that's higher than just this actual initial connection. So for you, you are really at a crossroads. You're looking out into the future. You're making a plan, and it involves a significant other. It involves somebody that's going to make a big, huge effing difference in your life. And it's about it's about the fear of placing a bet, taking a risk on something that you know will emotionally fulfill you versus monetarily get you the ego stroke that you need. Meaning there is a person in your life that can elevate your life and make you go in a direction that will give you ultimate monetary fulfillment, and it's tempting. It's very, very tempting for you not to bite from this fruit. Like, it's like you're like Adam and Eve, and Eve goes up to Adam and she says, can you, that there's an apple on that tree. Do you want to take a bite? You're at that point is like, do you take a bite, or do you emotionally respond to a spiritual message that is specifically designed for you? Do you know that there's a higher purpose? You are the 12th sign. You are the most energetically connected. You are psychically connected. Is this the choice that you should be making? You are in control, but there is a sense of losing control of this control. And so, because Saturn is squaring off with your ruling planet in 29 degrees at the time of this new moon, I think there is a need to take a look at what you feel like you have control over. Is control the actual illusion that you have? Is this new beginning the illusion that you are currently at if Saturn is in 29 degrees opposing your ruler? Like, are you really making the right choice? I mean, are you energetically connecting with the right choice, your actual purpose in life? Or is there something more that's trying to relay a message? Have you heard a message from somebody and you're turning your back to it and you're still moving forward, but you want to remain blind in the choice that you're making? I mean, this is why I don't know why this took this Spirit speaks in the strangest ways, but I mean, you're at a fork. You're on a new journey. You're planting seeds. Make sure that the seeds that you're planting will make you energetically grow. Okay? We're not talking about monetary and basing your life around your ego and, you're trudging forward and you're headstrong in the fact that, you will look good moving forward, but is it energetically where you need to be going? I'm sorry I gave you such an intense reading, but it spoke to me, and I have to give you the readings that I feel. Anyhow, thank you so much for tuning in to your personalized solar eclipse energetic reading, and I look forward to talking to you guys again tomorrow.